Hello, it's Catherine from Axe Valley Wildlife Park. So in this video I've come back down to the paddocks to give you a close encounter with our meerkats, and I have made them a very special toy. But before I give them that toy, I thought I would just tell you just a little bit about them first of all, because once I give them that toy, it's going to be so exciting that we won't be able to sort of take our eyes off anything else. So as I said in the tour of the park, that we actually do have 9 meerkats in this enclosure, and in the wild they come from the Kalahari Desert. So you can see that we've tried to replicate that in their enclosure. So we put sand down and then lots of different logs and hiding places for them. So within a meerkat pack, there are lots of roles and responsibilities and jobs of each individual meerkat. In the wild, there might be sort of 40 to 80 meerkats in a mob or a gang, and that's what we call a group of meerkats that are together. And the reason that we call them a mob or a gang is because, let's say for example, a predator for a bird of prey maybe, or a cobra tries to enter one of their dens. What they do is mob or gang together, just basically means they group together. And what they do is they bob their heads up and down, and this actually deters the bird of prey or the cobra, for example, because then they can't see where one meerkat is, because they're all together just bobbing their heads up and down, and this very much does confuse the predators. So eventually that cobra just gets bored and tries to find something else to eat. But each meerkat has a job or responsibility. So you might have seen quite often a lookout or a guard if you've been to a local zoo. And so what that guard or sentry does is just sits up high on the rock, and what this guard or sentry will do if he sees a bird of prey circling or any other predator is sound out a loud alarm bark, and then that just alerts the other meerkats that danger is coming and that everyone must get safe into the burrow where it's nice and safe. Other jobs and responsibilities include the alpha male and the alpha female. So these are the two that are the breeding pair that will produce the babies of that particular mob or gang. And it's actually the alpha female that is the boss, and she will tell everybody what the roles and responsibilities are of the day. So what we might see within the mob or the gang are the excavators or the diggers. So if there are any collapsed tunnels or any areas that need building, this is the responsibility of the excavators and the diggers. We also have the teachers. So these teachers, they will teach baby meerkats how to hunt. So for example, these meerkats will even eat scorpions and spiders and snakes in the wild, but obviously a lot of these animals have stingers. So a scorpion, for example, has a large stinger on the end. So what these teachers will do is teach the baby meerkats how to bite the sting off a scorpion, and then they drag it through the sand, and that just gets rid of any poison that might be there, and then that scorpion then is safe for the baby meerkats to eat. We also have some babysitters in there. So when the alpha female has given birth to her young, what these babysitters will do will actually take care of the young, and they will even feed them as well. So everybody kind of plays a part. In the wild we have lots and lots of meerkats. They are not considered to be endangered. We have many of them in the wild, and this is because they've adapted to their environment so much that even when we look at a meerkat, we can see that they've got these black circles around their eyes, and this enables our meerkats to actually look directly at the sun, and they can see a bird of prey coming from miles around. They actually act as sunglasses. So that just basically enables them to look so far ahead, they can see whenever there's any danger coming. They also have sharp claws, which they need for digging, and they have crescent shaped ears as well. So these crescent shaped ears allow them to have a flap of skin that they can actually use to cover over their ears, and that stops any sand from getting in. So very, very clever. Like the lemurs, they also have a black panel underneath those white bellies. So in the morning in the Kalahari Desert, when the sun comes out, what these guys will do is stretch their tummies out and basically just warm their bodies up by stretching out and warming their bodies up really quickly. What they also might do, if they're feeling a bit hot or cold, is either, if they're too cold, they will lie on a piece of hot sand, and they will literally put their bellies on that hot sand, and that will again just help them warm themselves up. Likewise, if they're feeling a bit too hot, they might try and find a shaded area which they will lie on to help cool themselves down. So in the wild, they have vast and complex tunnel systems, and they will have different areas for different things. So they will even have like a hospital wing where the females will go off to give birth. But also what they will do is, in the wild, they will actually go to the toilet in their bedroom, which I know sounds pretty disgusting. But what you have to remember is one meerkat on its own is very vulnerable to a bird of prey or a predator that might come along. So it's far too dangerous for a meerkat to go outside to go to the toilet in the middle of the night. So what happens is they actually go to the toilet in their bedrooms. So after a while, you can imagine that that bedroom is going to get pretty dirty, lots of wee and poo in there, yuck. So then what happens is that all the meerkats will move out of their burrow, but they go into another burrow which is still within their tunnel system, and then we get all of the cockroaches and all the little bugs that actually go in, and they are like the cleanup crew. So they will clean up all that nasty poo and wee, and then all of the meerkats move back in. So pretty clever. They are all part of the circle of life. These meerkats will eat pretty much most things. They are omnivores, so they do like a bit of meat and also a bit of fruit and veg. And they, like I say, they will eat pretty much anything. And this is another reason why they are so successful in the wild. This is because they will pretty much eat any sort of insects or anything that they sort of come across. Even their tails, if their legs get damaged, for example, they will use their tails as a third leg, and they will also use them for balance. So they've pretty much got everything sort of covered. So in the wild, a female might have up to 2 to 4 pups, and it does take a little while before these baby meerkats are ready to come out of the burrow and start sort of feeding and hunting for themselves. So they're very much reliant on the other meerkats to help look after them. So with that in mind, then the little toy that I have made for them is a ball pit. So I'm just going to show you what I've done here. So in here, as I say, I've made a nice little ball pit. So inside, I've put lots of little insects, lots of mealworms, which is actually a bit like chocolate to a meerkat. This is actually a meerkat's favourite food here at the park, is those lovely mealworms. I've also cut up some apple and some pear and some carrots. And what I'm going to do in a moment is just enter into the enclosure, and then I will put these balls down, and we will see what our meerkats sort of think of it. So just going to go inside to make sure we get in nice and safely so that we don't have any sort of escaped meerkats. So you will want to watch really closely now, everybody, because as soon as I put this ball pit down, that's it, the meerkats are going to be straight in it. So here we go. So now we can see our meerkats using those lovely claws, really digging in and finding all those lovely grubs. So during their feeding, you might hear the little sounds that they're making, the little barks. They actually have about 10 different vocal sounds and barks. So these little sounds that we're hearing at the moment, they're just kind of talking to each other, little grunts, little sounds. If there was danger around, it would be quite a loud bark, a bit like a dog bark really, quite loud and quite piercing. So we hopefully can hear some of those lovely sounds that they're making. As I said, these mealworms are a bit like chocolate to our meerkats. They do, absolutely do love them, even the bits of apple as well. So I'm just going going to go quiet just for a couple of minutes, just so that you can just have a little look and appreciate our meerkats in this ball pit. So hopefully we've been able to hear a lot of their sounds and little grunts that they're making. Now that we are fairly quite close to the meerkats, hopefully you can see these lovely sunglasses that I was telling you about, which, like I say, enable them to look directly at the sun and spot a bird of prey or any danger that might be around from sort of miles around. But they do also have third eyelids, so any of you that maybe have a dog or a cat at home, your dogs and cats will have these as well. So what it actually is, it's like a windscreen wiper inside the eye. So let's say, for example, if a little bit of sand goes into the meerkat's eye while they're digging, that windscreen wiper will just come along and it just gets rid of any sand that might be in their eyes. So very, very clever. Now, I know these guys look super cute and you almost just might think to yourself, oh, I just want to stroke one, I just want to hold one. But they do actually have quite a fierce bite. So although they like to get up close to our feet and kind of walk right up to us, if I went to pick one up, I think I would definitely sort of get quite a bit of a bite. So you can see they do have sharp teeth and claws, canines which they need obviously for being able to eat different insects and different meat and so forth. Okay, so just walking around the enclosure now, this is where you can see that we've got lots of tunnel systems for them to be able to hide in. And what we try and recreate, as I say, is lots of burrows, because in the wild their tunnel systems will be quite vast and will go out for miles and miles. And we've got our sentry or guard that's on duty. Please don't worry that this meerkat hasn't had any food. I do actually get asked that question quite a lot, because we worry that you know, while the other 8 meerkats are being fed, that poor sentry or guard hasn't had anything. But actually that is not the case. What we see is a change of the guard. So where we have had one meerkat that is on sentry duty, what will happen is all of the meerkats will go and have something, and then about halfway through the food there will be a change. So the meerkat that was on guard will come down, have something to eat, and the alpha female will tell another meerkat to go on lookout. So everybody will get a little piece. So they really do work as a group. Nobody sort of gets left behind, and it's for that reason that they are so successful in the wild. It has been said that they will even live alongside other animals, such as different mongooses and so forth, because they are so open to eating pretty much anything. They are not fussy what insects that they have. They have been so successful in the sense that they are not endangered, and as I say, they really do work as a pack, with everybody having different roles and responsibilities. So I hope you've enjoyed the Meerkat Ball Pit. Any questions, if you would like to ask your grown-up, and they will get a message out to me, and I will try and respond to you as quickly as I can. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.